So we are at the fourth lecture in a series of 8 lectures. Now, we don't have many slides this evening. We only have 60 slides. So I'm going to go a little bit slower. And we have friends who weren't here for the previous 3 lectures. So we're going to go very slow and very systematic. So if I'm going too slow, you understand why I'm doing it that way, all right?
Thank you.
We have an interesting topic. The series is entitled Explaining World Events Viewed in the Context of History and Bible Prophecy. We're living in very interesting times. And we are seeing issues occurring, world issues, local issues, international issues. And people are asking questions, what does this mean? The answers rest in only one place, the Bible. And of a truth, God has blessed this particular church here, not this church here, but the Adventist church, Seventh Adventist church, with great knowledge and light as it relates to world issues. I'm not saying we're the only person who have light, but without a doubt we have been given special favor to understand many of the issues. I think it's time for us, the other people, to start to speak. It's time for us to address the issues of the world so people can understand. Now, why is it important to understand issues of prophecy? Very simple. Jesus Christ says in the book of John that I'm going to tell you this thing before it occurs. So when it does occur, you may what? Believe. So there's one reason why I teach prophecy and preach prophecy. It serves the purpose to strengthen my faith, but also your faith. So don't view this as an exercise in knowledge. View it as more an effort to strengthen our faith. So that's the purpose why we're here studying this evening. So we're going to study world events, explaining world events, viewed in the context of history and Bible prophecy. Now, this is, I guess, our theme slide for the entire series. It's in the book of Education 179, the 5th paragraph, and it says, "The present is a time of overwhelming interest to all living. Rulers and statesmen, so members of the Congress, are asking questions." Those are the rulers and the statesmen. They're asking questions. Men who occupy positions of trust and authority. Those are persons who have influential position, are asking questions. But here's a piece I probably like the most. Thinking men and women of all classes. So from the highest class to the lowest class, thinking men and women are asking questions. What is going on in this world? They have their attention fixed upon events taking place about us. As I was explained before, a few weeks back I was coming from Pittsburgh. Going from Pittsburgh to North Carolina, and I was on a plane. I was in the last seat to the back. And I was sitting beside a gentleman and his wife. And the husband engaged me in discussion, and that was the burden of his heart. What is going on in this country and what is going on in this world? He was so troubled. So the last 10 minutes of our journey, we spent some time trying to reassure each other about world events. So people are asking questions. Thinking men and thinking women. They're concerned about events taking place about us. They are watching the strained, restless relationships that exist among the nations. They observe the intensity that is taking possession of every earthly element, and they recognize that something great and decisive is about to take place. So they're seeing the relationship between the US and Russia, between the US and China, between the US and North Korea. They're seeing all these issues going on. And they're saying, what does this mean? The world is on the verge of a stupendous crisis. And yes, it's on the verge of a stupendous crisis. But we need to explain to persons so they understand what this means and what it means for them and their soul salvation. We learned early in our study, the first study, that the prosperity of a nation is dependent upon the virtue and intelligence of its citizens. To secure these blessings, habits of strict temperance are indispensable. The history of ancient kingdoms, listen now, is replete with lessons of warning for us. So we have been told, listen carefully friends, this is a very important point. I don't want us to miss this point. We are told that we need to study ancient kingdoms because their experience will serve as a lesson to who? To us. Now, it gets even more focused in the comment. It goes on by saying, luxury, self-indulgence, and dissipation prepare the way for their downfall. So the context of discussion here thus far is ancient kingdoms had a downfall based on how they portrayed and acted out their lives. Are you following me so far? Yeah. But here's the crux of the matter now. It remains to be seen whether our own republic will be admonished by their example and avoid their fate. So it becomes more specific to the United States of America. So it is saying, study ancient kingdoms, especially kingdoms that had a republic type of government, and compare it with the US Republic and see what we can learn from it. In other words, there are two great republics this world has ever seen. The first great republic was the Roman Republic. And the next great republic came 1800 years afterwards. And that's the United States of America Republic. And the counsel we have been given here is that we need to study the ancient kingdom, in this case, in the context of the republic, the Roman Republic, and see how it flows and ask the question, is the United States of America following the same course? Do you understand what it's basically saying? Yes. So it's saying study the Roman Republic and study the US Republic and see if the US is following the Roman Republic and see whether or not we will be admonished by the example and avoid their fate. So we did that earlier. And this is a very busy slide. Alright, but we went through it systematically. This is a revision. I'm going to go through it slowly so you understand before we launch off from there. If it's not seen very clearly, you can come closer. Alright, but I'm going to go through it very slowly. So here is the premise of this slide. This slide here is a comparison of the rise and fall of the Roman and United States of America Republic. These are the characteristics we're going to discuss. This is the Roman Republic, and this is the United States of America Republic. I'm going to compare them this way. This with that, that with that, that with that. Are you following me? Yeah. So let's start our comparison now. The rise as republics. The Roman Republic rose in 509 BC as a tripartite government. They had a system of a judicial branch, legislative branch, and an executive branch. That's what you call a tripartite government. They had a system of checks and balances amongst these three elements of the government. And they had a constitution which was etched out on 12 tables with laws. And those laws were to protect the people from the government. It wasn't intended to give the people freedom because they had inherent freedom already. It was to protect the people from the government. Now, the comparison is seen on the other side where the United States of America rose as a republic in 1776 when we gained independence. We also have a tripartite government here in this country. We have a legislature, yes? Legislative branch, we have a judicial branch, we have an executive branch. And we have a system of checks and balances that is inherent in the United States of America's system of government. And we also have a constitution with Bill of Rights. So far on the first level, they are perfect comparison. Do you agree? Yes. Yes. Let's go to the second level now. So the Roman Republic remained a republic for several hundred years, functioning well under this tripartite system we described, with checks and balances with a constitution. But a turning point came. The turning point came when a war on terror was declared. And the Roman Republic repudiated its constitution. It undermined its constitution. Follow me carefully now. So in 68 BC, the Roman port at Ostia was set on fire by so-called terrorists or pirates. That's the word they used then, pirates. Now, Pompey's opponents were called into submission and two laws were passed. And these two laws served to undermine the Roman Republic. It was the Lex Gabinia and the Lex Manila. The Lex Gabinia and the Lex Manila. I won't have time to go into what they were. They were basically laws that gave Pompey unprecedented power to wage war. Listen carefully, friends. This is history I'm talking about now. This is history. This is facts. This is history. That was the essence of those. They took power from the people and placed it in the hand of one man and gave him unlimited power. Infinitum imperium. Infinite power. And it gave him a certain geographic structure where he had full control over to make war and to make peace. And that came when there was a what? War and terror declared. Because there was an attack at the port in Ostia. And that was in 68 BC. The comparison with that is that the United States of America has remained a republic for many years. But something changed in 9/11. In 9/11, terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, war on terror was declared and several laws came into being. Within 3 days, while the remains were still burning, what was passed was the authorization for use of military force, which allowed the United States Department of Defense to declare war on any country with their intention supposedly to stop terrorist activities. Another law was passed was the Patriot Act. You must have heard about that one. And the Patriot Act, when you look at what the Patriot Act contained, it was subversive to the Constitution of the United States of America. It took away the power from the people and it allowed the government to be able to carry out certain actions in contradistinction to the Constitution of the United States of America. There were repressive actions that can be taken now. Another important law that came into being was the Military Commissions Act, signed by President Bush. All this was under President Bush. And that act itself, you can be declared an enemy combatant. And you can be locked up despite habeas corpus, supposedly a part of the United States system of governance, which says before you can be locked up, you must be charged and you must be brought before a court at a certain time. That's an exception based on that Military Commissions Act. Now, the next important thing is the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire. So by 49 BC, Julius Caesar broke Roman law that forbade legions from crossing the Rubicon into Italy proper. Let me explain that. So there was a law then in the Roman Republic that says no standing army must cross the Rubicon to go into Italy proper. Now, Julius Caesar was in Gaul, where his command was. And he was told to disband his army and enter Rome as a citizen. But he knew that he was going to be prosecuted. So he marched his army across the Rubicon. And in doing that, he broke a Roman law that says no standing army must police its citizens. Are you following me, friends? Are you following me so far?
Yes.
Now, we saw in 2002 in the United States of America changes to laws again and to norms of practice. We saw the establishment of the United States Northern Command. That's a branch of the Department of Defense that deals with issues of homeland security. By President Bush, and this was skirting the constraints of the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 that forbade the USA military policing its citizens, and this commenced the fall of the US Republic. So in 2002, we found that it was now possible for the police force becoming militarized to now do what? Police the very American citizens. And if you think about it, there have been several actions that have occurred in the last several years. We actually saw the police force and the military within communities. Think about them. Katrina, that sounds familiar? Right? You guys following me so far? Yes? And several other so-called terrorist activity that went on. But the Boston bombing, the military was out amongst the people. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
That's totally contrary to the Posse Comitatus Act. So in essence, America has crossed this Rubicon. So we saw that the change from a republic to an empire came when Caesar marched his army across the Rubicon. That change has occurred in America. America is no longer a republic. We may be operating on a Republican mindset, but in function and activity, we have crossed the Rubicon. And we are now in the state of a United States of America empire. Then we saw here that after that occurred with Julius Caesar and he broke the law and marched across Rubicon, there was a succession of emperors. The first one being Emperor Augustus Caesar. That was Caesar's nephew. And we have seen since then several imperial presidents. We have seen where the executive branch has been elevated above the judicial branch and the legislative branch. We have seen that with President Bush, President Obama, and we are seeing it clearly with our President Trump. Now the next stage that occurred in the fall of the Roman Republic, here, now the Roman Empire now, was a church-state union. In AD 13, Edict of Milan was passed by Emperor Constantine. The churches were encouraged to be incorporated. Listen carefully. Constantine's intent was to do what? Bring church and state together in his attempt to what? To bring his empire under one religious mindset. So he established a church-state union by passing the Edict of Milan. Now I won't be able to go back and read it, but we read through that before. And it was an edict that encouraged churches to be incorporated, and they were all given freedom of worship and expression. And we saw here that between 2006 to 2009 in the United States of America, the churches were encouraged to be incorporated by executive order by President Bush. And then we saw President Obama elevated this initiative to an Office of Faith-Based Initiative to more encourage churches to become incorporated, establishing a system of church-state union. But in 2017, we saw something very decisive occurred. We saw President Constantine Trump, I'm playing on that word right here, using his executive power to give life to apostate Protestantism to influence the legislative process. And as I said to you, I'm just giving summary. All this was given great detail and studies, and I gave the documents after the documents after the documents. So you can go back and look at the two previous studies. The first one was the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. Second one was Are We Rome? Look back at those two. They are on the website. I've explained these in great detail. I'm just giving a best I can a detailed summary now. Then we saw that in 321 AD, national apostasy occurred, which was passed by national son-in-law by Emperor Constantine, and what followed was the persecution of seventh-day Sabbath-keeping Christians. That's historical facts. These are facts that cannot be controverted. They are facts. Go and check the history books, they are there. And we have seen that what is to come is that apostate Protestantism will agitate the passing of a national son-in-law through religious amendment to the Constitution. And we're going to see persecution of Seventh-day Adventist Christians coming very soon. Can we turn back to AC, Steve? Now, what we discussed this morning was in part was this phase right here, the collapse and absorption of the empire. We learned this morning that in 476 AD, then commenced the fall of the Roman Empire. And that we discussed that in the context of Revelation 8 and Revelation 9. And the Roman Empire was absorbed into 10 kingdoms of Daniel 7:7. And the papacy rose to absolute power. Now, that's going to be our focus this afternoon. So I want us to understand what's going on. Follow me carefully now. So we saw the rise of the Roman Republic. We saw the Roman Republic fell and became a Roman Empire. And we see the Roman Empire fall, itself falling, and was absorbed into a system of 10 kingdoms. Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 speak about that. Listen carefully. When the Roman Empire fell and was absorbed into these 10 kingdoms, what rose up was the papacy. Friends, you get that?
Yes.
We learned this morning that the fall of the United States of Empire has begun. It's not quite there as yet. And we discussed that the soft underbelly of the US empire is it's dependent on the finances, which is based on petrodollars. The dollars that we have in the pocket that says, in God we trust, those US dollars, they only have value because they're backed with what? Oil. Because the US dollar is the world currency of trade, especially trading in oil. And we recognize that when that day comes when the US dollar is no longer traded the other way around. When that day comes when the oil is no longer traded in US dollars, the US dollar will have no value. Or you're not going to hear what I'm saying to you, very popular. Nobody's going to come on television and say what I'm going to say to you. But what I'm saying is true, and you know what is true. The United States of America left the gold standard some 40, almost 40 years ago. The Bretton Woods and all those agreements that were made before, those are out the window. The dollar you have in your pocket only have value because the government says that value, number one, and two, it's the currency of trading through the world, especially buying oil. So the day when that day comes, when the US dollar is no longer the currency to buy and sell oil, this United States of America empire will collapse financially. And that was our study this morning. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go into much detail right now. But go back and look at the study that says the rise and fall of the United States of America empire. That's what we spent our time studying this morning. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more, but that was the purpose of our study. So here are we now. So let's look at some parallel now. Follow me carefully now. So this is what we learned, and we went more in this morning. This is the Roman Empire. So here's the Roman Empire here. Here's Italy, here's Rome. And we made an observation that though Italy is just here with Rome right here, the Roman Empire encompassed a much wider and vaster territory. Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
We learned that when this Roman Empire fell, it fell and was absorbed into 10 independent nations. The Anglo-Saxons, the Franks, Alemanni, the Lombards, the Ostrogoths, Erli, Burgundians, the Vandals, the Visigoths, and the Suevi. Just as the word of God predicted that it would have occurred in the book of Daniel 7 verse 7. Go and check it out. It's there, friends. We can trust the Bible. We can trust the word of God. So when the Roman Empire fell, it was absorbed into a system of 10 kingdoms. And after that, what occurred was the rise of the little horn. Daniel 7 verse 7 and verse 8. The papacy arose amongst the 10. So follow me carefully now. Follow me carefully now. The Roman Empire fell and was absorbed amongst 10 kingdoms. And what rose up amongst them? The papacy. The papacy. The papacy. Now, we're going to compare that with the United States of America. And we said this United States of America, the USA Empire, which is a military-based empire, which is dependent on financial stability as a result of the petrodollar, the fact that oil is traded in US dollar. A time is going to come when there's national apostasy. They're going to be passed of national son-in-law, and oil will be no longer traded in US dollars, but traded into the digitalized SDR. Now, many of you guys don't know what I'm talking about when I said that. That was the beginning of the discussion this morning. I'm not going to be able to go back into it, except to say this. There's presently in the making a system of commerce that's based on digitized currency called SDR, special drawing rights. Check me out. Please write it down right now and check me out. Please. And I gave some homework after the study this morning. I challenge you guys and say, who's going to go home and check and see if tea was sold out of China using SDRs, digitalized SDRs? Who did that? You did it? You found it?
Not to a great extent, but I saw the...
Alright, no problem. But I can show you still, but it's there. It's there, but I'm glad you actually took on the task. Alright? So we have a system in the waiting, just waiting. Waiting for it to rise, and we're going to have a cashless society. And what we're going to be having, friends, is a system where you have to, quote unquote, buy in. Either through your mark in the forehead, or buy into a mark in the hand. To be have access to the special drawing rights. Now I wish I could go into it more. I see Sister Deidre's eyes just bulging out, but Sister Deidre is sorry. I can't. He's going to just take us left and I want us to go right. But I'm going to say to you, go back and look at this study this morning, which I'm going to try and get uploaded this week. Amen. The rise and the fall of the USA Empire. That was the study we did this morning. So here's a question I want to ask, and we're going to answer now. Here's what we're going to try and answer in the next 40 minutes or so. Here it is. After the national son-in-law and the financial fall of the USA empire, what will be the new world geopolitical structure? Follow me. Here's the argument. When the Roman Empire fell, what was created was a new geopolitical structure. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
In the same territory, but a new geopolitical structure was occurred. Are you following me? And we're arguing that, I'm arguing, and I want you guys to be a part of the argument, that when the USA empire falls, what will be the geopolitical structure of the US present worldwide military empire? So you understand what I'm asking, right? Let me go one more time. I don't want you to miss this point. Hear what I'm asking. When the Roman Empire fell, it was broken up into 10 geopolitical regions. Are you following me? As Daniel 7 verse 7 said it would have. I'm asking us the question now. Since we saw this morning that the US empire is going to fall when it is switched from this petrodollar to this United States, to this digitalized currency, the SDR, it's going to fall. The US empire will fall. Well, what's going to be the geopolitical structure of the world after it falls? And that's going to be our discussion over the next half an hour. So let's get into it. So our topic is called the political beast and the religious war. The political beast and religious war. That's going to be spend the next half an hour discussing. So when we read Revelation chapter 17, let's take our Bibles out. And I want you to turn to the book of Revelation, Revelation chapter 17. I'm going to read the entire chapter. We're not going to study the entire chapter, but I want us to see the context of our study. Let's get Revelation chapter 17. Get your Bibles out. I want you to follow me in the reading. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's take our Bibles out on our iPhone. It's important to have the Bible out. Our study is a Bible study more than a sermon, alright? Because I'm saying to us, we can trust the Bible.
Amen.
We can trust the prophecy in the Bible.
Amen.
So this is not man's wisdom, this is God's wisdom, alright? Let's get into it. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of what? Blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of what? Abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And upon her head, upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Whereas didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which are the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here's a mind which had wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. So I want us to pay attention to verse 12. That's going to be the focus of our study. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings one over the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Amen.
And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the word seated, are peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are upon the beast, these shall hate the war, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city that which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Now clearly, that's very deep. As a matter of fact, many scholars would agree that Revelation 17 is probably the most difficult chapter to study in the Bible. So this is what we're going to do now. A wise way to take on difficult things is to break them down into pieces that you can actually work with. Agreed?
Yes.
So we're going to do that this evening. We're not going to study the whole thing. We're going to take out pieces and apply those pieces that we can understand. So let's make it simple. Revelation 17 has 2 main characters. Here it is. So he carried, verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored what? Beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So if I suppose to ask you, we're going to make it very simple that we can all follow. What are the 2 characters in Revelation 17? A woman and a beast. Right? It's pretty straightforward so far. A woman and a beast. Now, we need to ask ourselves a question. So, a woman sits upon a scarlet-colored beast. So that's being depicted. A beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, and a woman sits on the beast in purple and scarlet with a golden cup in her hand. We're going to study the woman and the beast, but let's study the beast first. That's why I've underlined the beast and made it bold and big. So the beast is going to be in our discussion first. So, what's a beast in Bible prophecy? Now, there may be some of us here who's done so familiar with Bible prophecy, but it's an approach we use in Bible prophecy. We don't go based on our own interpretation. We let the Bible interpret itself. Friends, are you following me?
Yes.
So it wouldn't be unfair for me to say a beast is this and a beast is that, and you say something else. That wouldn't be cogent. That wouldn't be sensible. That wouldn't be practical. So let's go to the Bible and let the Bible explain to us what does a beast mean in Bible prophecy. And here, look at Daniel 7:23 and 24. And you tell me what a beast is now. Don't answer us yet. But let's read and see what the Word of God is going to explain what a beast means in Bible prophecy. Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon the earth. So I don't even need to go any further than that. So you answer me now. What's a beast in Bible prophecy?
Kingdom.
A kingdom. So a picture is seen with a woman. We're going to get to what a woman means soon. But she's at least riding a what? Kingdom. So she's under control of a what? A kingdom. Are we following so far?
Yes.
Let's go back now. Let's go back. So we say this is the picture. A woman sits upon a scarlet-colored beast. The beast we learn is a what?
Kingdom.
Kingdom. No. So a beast in Bible prophecy is a kingdom or a state or a government or a ruling power or a political system. All are applicable. That's what a beast means in Bible prophecy. All are applicable. Now, hear what it says now. So he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, we're going to focus on the horns. We can't study everything or we're going to lose our mind. We're going to focus on the horns. And the 10 horns, with those swords are 10 kings. So the Bible explains what the horns mean already.
Yes.
Which have received no kingdom as yet. So I want you to pay attention to something. Look here. You realize it never said that the horns had crowns on them? No, it didn't say that. You realize that? It simply says that what? They have no kingdom as yet. It's fascinating. So this beast is a kingdom, and within this kingdom are 10 what? kings.
King.
Have we found that so far?
Yes.
The beasts of the kingdom and within the kingdom are 10
King.
kings. And the kings have not had any crown on their head as yet, because they have no kingdom as yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they're there.
Yes.
But it's not that they have not had a kingly title as yet. But are they there? Yes,
Yes.
because there are 10 kings. Let's go into these 10 horns. So the 10 horns with those swords are 10 kings which have no kingdom as yet. So this is a political system, a kingdom. And within this political system are 10 kingdoms. And the kings of the kingdoms have not had their kingship as yet. Let's go to history now, because this is a series where we're looking at history and prophecy together. So we're going to go back in 19th century and look at what some historical facts are. Please check me up on all these things. Don't just take it gullible like that. Don't be like that, please. Be like the Bereans. In 19th century, what year did I say?
19th century.
In 19th century, the Club of Rome, which is a think tank. You know what that think tank is? It's a political group of scholarly people who plan geopolitical issues of the world. So you have the Council of Foreign Relations, whoever that one. That's a think tank, alright? And there are many of them like that. But I'm talking about the Club of Rome in this particular. So in 19th century, the Club of Rome issued a report titled Regionalized and Adaptive Model of Global World System. In this report, a map is shown which divides the world into 10 political or economic regions. So here it is. So the Club of Rome prepared a report called this report, Regionalized and Adaptive Model of the Global World System, and it had the world divided into 10 regions. And the regions were these grouped together. America, China, and Mexico was one region.
Canada.
Sorry, America, Canada, and Mexico was one region. The EU, countries of the European Union, Western Europe as a whole was one region. Japan was a one region. Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa was one region. Eastern Europe, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Russia, and the former country of Soviet Union was one region. Central and South America, Cuba and Caribbean islands was one region. The Middle East and North Africa was one region. The rest of Africa, except South Africa, was one region. South and Southeast Asia, including India, was one region. And China and Mongolia is now included, with China was another region. So 19th century, the Club of Rome was proposing a system of what we call a regionalized and adaptive model of the global world system. They were making a geopolitical decision what the world should look like. Now, the question you're going to ask yourself is, well, Elder, I hear you saying that, but do you have any evidence that that has been gone beyond just a speculation? Well, let us see. We're going to get to that soon. Let us see. In September 11, 1990, George H.W. Bush, that's the father Bush who died recently, he made a speech where he says a new world order can emerge. New world order speech. So follow me now. So in 1973, the Club of Rome made this proposal that would have looked like this, with the world designated in these 10 regions. And in 1990, New World Order speech, George H.W. Bush said a new world order can emerge. He went on to say it's a big idea, a new world order. Only the United States has both the moral standing and the means to back it up. In January 1st, 2004, the Pope calls for a new world order. Pope John Paul II rang in the new year on Thursday with a renewed call for peace in the Middle East and Africa and creation of a new world order based on respect for dignity of man and equality among nations. So, we see this concept of a new world in an adaptive model in 19th century. We see the United States of America echoing that through its president, George H.W. Bush, in 1990. And we see it as his New Year's message in 2004, the then Pope, John Paul II, echoing the same message again. Let me ask a question. What has occurred since? Let us see. Formation of regional blocks. The African Union was founded in 2002 and is an intergovernmental organization consisting of 53 African states. Boom, that's done already. Check me up, friends, please. I beg of you. I don't want you guys just to sit there and just take it as it is. Don't do that. I want you guys to listen, but process it. So one of the regions was supposed to be an African region, yes? There it is. It's formed already. The Union of South American Nations, UNASAR, was formed on May 23, 2003, with the headquarters to be in Ecuador, the South American Parliament to be in Bolivia, and the Bank of the South to be in Venezuela. Boom. Formed already. The groups working under the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, was signed by President Bush, Mexican President Vicente Fox, and then Canadian Prime Minister Paul Martin in Waco, Texas on March 23, 2005. Boom. Between Canada, Mexico, and the US, boom. It's done already. On May 6, 2005, the website of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, announced that China, Japan, South Korea, and 10 members of the ASEAN have agreed to expand their network of bilateral currency swaps into what could become a virtual Asian monetary fund. Southeast Asian as region that we discussed before, boom, it's done already. In 2005, the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, a regional trade bloc amongst Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, announced the goal of creating a single common currency by 2010. 2005, Gulf Cooperation Council, boom, it's done already. And in 2009, the European Union, which started as a trade bloc, morphed, and in the Treaty of Lisbon, it was transformed into a political union. Boom, that's done already. So what was planned in 1973? All in place already. So, let's go on with our study. And the 10 horns with those stories are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings one over the beast. So these 10 kingdoms, are they there already?
Yes.
Absolutely. But have they received their kingdom as yet? No. But are they going to? Yes. And they're going to receive that in the context of the beast. So friends, let's ask the question again now. When the United States of America empire falls, this will a new world paradigm. Are you seeing the paradigms?
Yes.
When Roman Empire fell, there was a new geopolitical structure of 10 kingdoms. When the United States of America empire falls, there's going to be a new geopolitical structure of 10 kingdoms. So if you're doubtful that the US is following the Roman Republic and Empire, it's spot on. So, what's going to happen next? After the US empire falls and this regionalized adoptive model from the Club of Rome takes effect, when the kings have now got their what? Kingdom. Geographical structure of the New World Order, which corresponds to the 10 horns of the beast in Revelation 17 we just read. That's it. Then, friends, receive power as kings one over the beast. Then they receive their what? Their crowns. But is it in place already? Yes. Yes. Now, we're going to shift our focus now to the other element we saw in Revelation 17, the woman. So we discussed the beast. We understand this beast to be a geopolitical system of 10 kingdoms, the structural basis for the New World Order. That was purported by the President George H.W. Bush and purported and sung even louder by the Pope. A system of 10 world regions. But the Bible says something kind of very scary. It says a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. So a woman going to be in charge of what? These 10 geopolitical regions of the world, when the US has stamped, and the US empire has stamped, a woman will be sitting and in control of these 10 globalized geopolitical regions of the world. So the question is again, a woman? What's a woman in Bible prophecy? Well, let's not guess, let's see it. I'm jealous for you with godly jealousy. For I betroth you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. So what? The chaste virgin is Christ, what? Bride, which is a church. So a woman is being presented as a church. So therefore, a woman represents a church or religious system in Bible prophecy. Now, this is getting me very interested now. So are we saying, or is the Bible saying, that when the United States of America empire falls, and this adaptive model of 10 world regions, geopolitical regions, is come to fruition, that is going to be controlled by a church or a religious system? That's exactly what the Word of God is saying. So here it is. But the Word of God started to give more descriptive features of what this woman is, this church is. It describes her thus. And there came one of the 7 angels which at the 7th vial and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed. So are you saying then a relationship between the church and these kingdom state is fornication? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because God never intended for church and state union to be there.
No.
Give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give unto God which belongs to
God.
That principle of what Christ said is what is embedded in the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights. Congress shall make no law respecting religion. So when Christ said that, that's where that First Amendment bill came from Christ's very utterance.
Yes.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So in other words, the issues of the state belong to the issues of the state, and give to God which belongs to God. Issues of God belongs to what? God. No law must be joined the two of them. So the Bible describes it as fornication. It's an illicit union between church and state. So the woman riding this beast is an illicit union. It's not supposed to occur.
No.
But it will occur. So we call it a religious war. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. So it's giving us even more clues now who this woman is. The woman is described as in purple and scarlet, which church routinely has its cardinals and its bishops in purple and scarlet? Roman Catholic Church. No, let me back up a little bit here. I'm not knocking Catholics. There are many good Catholics in the Roman Catholic Church. I'm talking about the religious system. Just as it would be inappropriate for me to say all Adventists are bad. I cannot say that. And just as important, I can't say all Catholics are bad.
No.
They are good, loving, kind, generous Roman Catholic people. They will give you their very heart. Truly sincere Christians. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the what? System. And the system is indeed characterized by a church that decks itself in purple and scarlet. And it does indeed deck itself in gold and precious stones and pearls. That's a fact. So the Bible has given its own internal evidence to say that this church system is a Roman Catholic church system, or the papacy. No. So we're saying that the papacy will rise among the 10 horns or the 10 kingdoms. You see that very interesting parallel? So let's describe the parallel. So when the Roman Empire fell, it was absorbed into a system of 10 kingdoms. You remember we discussed that?
Yes.
And who was up amongst those 10 kingdoms? The papacy. We're seeing a similar system again now, with the United States of America empire falling and being absorbed in a geopolitical worldwide system of 10 kingdoms. We see now what? A woman what? Riding or in control of that system. So we see the papacy rising. But as here said, didn't the papacy have a deadly wound, so he's rising again? Let's see what's going to happen. So Revelation 13 verse 1 describing the papacy or papal Rome says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." So this is the papacy, this Roman Catholic Church system being described in very pictorial languages. "And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet was the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." This description here is seen pictorially here, which describes what? It describes the 4 beasts that's seen in the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 7 verse 1 to about 7-8. It's a composite beast taking all the features of the previous kingdoms that were before it. Now, listen carefully now. So we learn, follow me carefully now. So we learn that the Roman Empire what? Fell, follow me now friends. The Roman Empire fell. It was absorbed in a system of 10 kingdoms. And the papacy rose. Are you following me?
Yes.
But we are learning here that it was. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded unto death. So the Bible is saying that the papacy did have a deadly wound in the past. So let's go again. The Roman Empire fell, absorbed in these 10 kingdoms, and the papacy rose up. Amen?
Yes.
But the Bible is saying to us in Revelation 13:3, "And I saw one of its heads as it was wounded to death." So what was it? This actually occur? Yes. In 1798, he, Berthier, that's Napoleon's general, made his entrance into Rome, abolished the papal government, and established a secular one. That's historical facts in the Encyclopedia Americana, 1941 edition. Irrefutable, that's facts, historical facts. And so we saw that the Roman church system or the papacy had a deadly wound in 1798. But we are just learning something interesting. We're learning that the woman rides the beast. So she had a deadly wound in 1798. She must have become what? Revived. So let's see if there's going to be a healing of this deadly wound. It goes on. "And I saw one of the heads, it said, that were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was what? Healed." Now let's see if there's any historical facts to support this healing of the deadly wound now. On February 11, 1929, an historic treaty was signed between the Italian government and the Vatican. So re-establishing the political power and diplomatic standing of the Catholic Church. This commenced the healing of the wound, friends. 1929. And here the historic pact was being signed. That gave back the papacy what it lost, which was its what? Political power. Don't get lost now, friends. Follow me carefully now. Here it is. It had a deadly wound, and it was healed. Healed by what? Returning what was lost. Its political power and its diplomatic standing, the Catholic Church rose back again, having lost that in 1798. And here's the sign of that famous pact. Here, San Francisco Chronicle, February 11th, 1929. This is the actual newspaper. I'm just brought forward what it says. This is what it says. "The Roman question tonight was a thing of the past, and the Vatican was at peace with Italy. In affixing the autographs to the memorable document, healing the wound, extreme cordiality was displayed on both sides." So the very stones are crying out and saying 1929 then commenced. Notice the word commenced. Didn't fully occur then, but then the wound started to become what? Healed. Another newspaper saw this prophetic event being fulfilled and expressed it in this way. The New York Times, July 7th, 1929. "Mortal wound healed. This is actually the paper. That's it right here. This is not some. I'm not crafting this. I'm just reading what it says. Martin O'Neill, Rome, June 7th. From 11 o'clock this morning, there was another sovereign independent state in the world. At that time, Premier Mussolini exchanged with Cardinal Gaspari, Papal Secretary of State, representing Pope Pius XI, ratifications of treaties signed at the Lateran Palace on February 11th. By that simple act, the sovereign independent state of Vatican came into existence, and the wound began to be healed. So here we hear the papacy say, the Pope Francis say, the thing the church needs most today is the ability to what? Heal wounds and to warm the hearts of the faithful. So friends, so there was a deadly wound given. The deadly wound was what? Healed. And then there's going to be a third phase to this woman riding the beast. And as I saw one of the hair, it says I was wounded to death. That's one phase. And the deadly wound was healed. That's the second phase. And all the world wandered after the beast. That's the third phase. No, he didn't say wander. He says wander. He didn't say W-A. W-A is to follow physically. W-O-N-D-E-R is to wander the mind. Giving the mind in obedience. It's interesting that we talk about the mind, because we learned before in Revelation 17, 12 and 13, and receive power as king one over the beast. These have one what? Mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So they're going to say beast, they're going to say woman, sit on my back. Are you seeing, friends? A woman riding a beast. The kingdom, yes. These 10 regionalized geopolitical regions going to say, Roman Catholic Church, we want you on our what? Back. We want you to be the one to what? Lead us. And we're going to see the Papal Rome rising. Roman Catholic Church rising. So, United States of America, empire falls. It's absorbed into this 10 geopolitical regions, and uprises the what? Papacy in control of the system. So here it is. I've tried to give it in systematic order. So the fall of the US empire and its absorption in the 10 kingdoms, then the rise of the papacy to absolute world power. So here it is, friends. US empire falls, and what results is this 10 regionalized kingdoms, which represented by the beast with the 10 horns. Are you following me, friends? And then we saw this woman, this religious whore, the papacy, controlling the beast. This, friends, is a new world order that the Club of Rome had envisioned in 1973, that President George H.W. Bush touted in 1990, and then Pope John Paul II shouted and echoed in his New Year's address, January 1st, 2004. A new world order. A world of a regionalized geopolitical system of 10 kingdoms being controlled and governed by what? A church. The Roman Catholic Church system. Friends, history have a way of repeating itself. And we look through the eyes of prophecy. We see some very remarkable parallels. So let me ask you something now. What are the likelihood that simply by chance that a Roman Empire fell and was absorbed into a system of 10 kingdoms, and the papacy rose up in 538 AD as a then governing world power? And similar by chance, the prophecy say that the United States of America empire is going to fall. It's going to be absorbed in a system of 10 world geopolitical regions, and it's going to be ridden or more or less controlled by a woman, the papacy. What's the likelihood of both of those occurring well over some 2,000 years? It's impossible by chance. but it's all true by prophecy. So what I've just said to you, we're wrapping up now. This is my last slide. So here's the new world order, friends. A religious war riding a political beast. It's here with us. I showed that the world regions are all there already. They have just not got their what as yet? Crowns as yet. And that's why it says, this beast with 7 and 10 horns, there was no crowns on the horns. But that time is going to come when they'll have the horns, when they have the crown and the horns. We're there, friends. Just a few more events need to fall in place right now. And a sequence of events is going to play out in this world, and this system will be fully established. Now, I ask the question again. What I've discussed is even showing over 2,000 years of historical facts supported by the Bible and vice versa. Is it likely, is it possible that purely by chance the Roman Empire fell, absorbed into 10 kingdoms, and the papacy rose? Is it likely, purely by chance, that a US empire will fall and be absorbed in these 10 world regions, and it will be, and the papacy will rise again to total world dominance? Is that purely by chance?
No.
No, not by chance, but by prophecy. So friends, I've took my time this evening and hope by God's grace systematically presented this message to us. Let's be like the Bereans and study the truth. But God never leaves his people without a witness. The witness has come forth, friends. Do you believe? Or do you not believe? Next Sabbath, we're going to be discussing this very interesting picture here. Wickedness in the pot. Who is this woman and what's this pot? And where is this pot going to be placed on? And why is it considered wickedness in the pot? We're going to be discussing that next Sabbath. So by God's grace, I trust you there. Let's close off in prayer.